Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a question: what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary? Some say it's talent, others say luck. But let me assure you it's neither. The secret lies in something far simpler, yet often overlooked: your daily rituals. The things you do every single day determine the person you become. Today I want to share 8 rituals that, if practiced consistently, will transform your life. 1. Rise with purpose. Every morning, the world gives you a gift minus 24 hours. The question is, what will you do with it? Don't let the first hour of your day slip by unnoticed. Use it to define your intentions. Write down your goals for the day, no matter how small they may seem. Remember, the way you start your day sets the tone for the hours ahead. 2. Feed your mind. You've heard it said, you are what you eat, but let me add, you are also what you read, watch, and listen to. Devote time each day to learning something new. Read a chapter from a book, listen to a podcast, or reflect on a timeless principle. Education isn't something you finish, it's something you grow into every day. 3. Move your body. Here's a truth: your body is the only vehicle you have to carry you through life. Treat it well. Spend time moving, whether it's a walk, a workout, or even stretching. A healthy body fuels a productive mind. You'll thank yourself not just today, but years down the road. 4. Express gratitude. Gratitude transforms your perspective. Take 5 minutes each day to list what you're thankful for. It's not happiness that makes us grateful, it's gratitude that makes us happy. This simple act will open your eyes to abundance, even in the smallest moments. 5. Focus on what matters most. It's easy to get busy being busy, but productivity isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters. Identify your top 3 priorities each day and give them your best effort. The key to progress isn't speed, it's direction. 6. Practice reflection. At the end of the day, pause. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? What can I improve tomorrow? Reflection is the bridge between experience and wisdom. Without it, the days blur together. With it, every day becomes a lesson. 7. Be intentional about relationships. Life is a team sport. Make time each day to connect with the people who matter most: your family, friends, colleagues. Simple conversation, a kind word, or even just listening can strengthen the bonds that truly enrich your life. 8. Give something back. Here's a principle to live by: what you give multiplies. Whether it's your time, your knowledge, or your kindness, find a way to serve others daily. When you focus on adding value to the lives of those around you, the rewards will come back to you tenfold. Let me ask you a question: how do you start your day? Do you wake up, roll out of bed, and let the world decide how your day will go? Or do you take a moment to set your course, to determine your priorities, and to define your purpose for the day ahead? Let me tell you, the difference between these 2 approaches is monumental. It's the difference between wandering aimlessly and walking with purpose. And that's where the importance of setting intentions comes into play. An intention is more than just a thought or a wish. It's a declaration of focus, a commitment to what truly matters. Setting intentions is about deciding in advance the kind of person you want to be, the values you want to uphold, and the actions you're going to take. It's about taking control of your life rather than letting life control you. Now, you might be thinking, why do I need to set intentions? Can't I just go with the flow? Well, let me tell you something: going with the flow is fine. But if you don't know where you're going, the flow will take you somewhere you may not want to be. Without intention, life has a way of pulling you in 100 different directions. The urgent things will crowd out the important ones. The distractions will overshadow your priorities. And before you know it, the day is over, and you're left wondering where the time went. Setting intentions is like planting a flag on the map of your life. It's about saying, this is where I'm going. This is what I stand for. This is what I will accomplish today. Intentions give you clarity. They give you direction. And most importantly, they give you the power to shape your life according to your own design. Let's take a moment to understand why intentions are so powerful. When you set an intention, you're engaging your mind in a process of focus and alignment. You're telling your brain, this is what's important today. And the amazing thing is, your mind listens. It starts to filter out the noise and tune in to the opportunities that align with your intention. Have you ever bought a new car and suddenly started noticing that same car everywhere? That's your brain's reticular activating system at work. When you set an intention, you're activating that same system to focus on your goals and values. But setting intentions isn't just about mental focus, it's also about emotional energy. When you take a moment to define what matters to you, you're connecting with your purpose on a deeper level. You're reminding yourself why you're doing what you're doing, and that why fuels your motivation. It gives you the drive to push through challenges and stay committed to your path. Now, let me be clear, setting intentions isn't just about thinking positive thoughts. It's about taking deliberate action. It's about aligning your behavior with your values and your goals. It's one thing to say, I want to be healthier. It's another thing entirely to set an intention like this today. I will nourish my body with healthy food, move for 30 minutes, and drink plenty of water. Do you see the difference? One is vague and passive. The other is specific and actionable. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who wanted to improve his relationships. For years he told himself, I should spend more time with my family, but somehow life always got in the way. Work, distractions, and other obligations took over. Then one day he decided to set a clear intention. He said, every evening I will spend 1 hour with my family, fully present and without distractions. And you know what happened? That one simple intention transformed his relationships. His family felt valued, he felt more connected, and the quality of his life improved dramatically. This is the power of intention. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. It's about choosing consciously and deliberately how you want to show up in the world. And when you do that, the results are extraordinary. But here's the thing, intentions don't just happen. You have to create them. And the best time to do that is at the start of your day. Before the emails, the meetings, and the to-do list take over, take a moment to center yourself. Ask yourself what's most important today. How do I want to feel? What do I want to accomplish? Write it down if you need to. Keep it simple. 1 or 2 clear intentions are more powerful than a long list of vague ideas. Let me give you an example of a simple morning intention today. I will approach my work with focus and enthusiasm, and I will show kindness to everyone I meet. That's it. It's not complicated, but it's clear. And when you carry that intention with you throughout the day, it becomes a compass, guiding your actions and decisions. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, what if I set an intention and things don't go as planned? And that's a fair question. Life is unpredictable. There will be challenges, interruptions, and setbacks. But that's the beauty of intentions. They're not rigid rules, they're guiding principles. Even if you get off track, your intention can help you refocus and realign. It's like a lighthouse in the storm, reminding you of the direction you want to go. And here's the best part, the more you practice setting intentions, the better you get at it. It becomes a habit. And when setting intentions becomes a habit, your life starts to shift. You become more focused, more purposeful, and more aligned with your goals and values. Setting intentions isn't just a daily practice, it's a life-changing mindset. It's about taking ownership of your time, your energy, and your choices. It's about being proactive instead of reactive. Let me ask you a simple question. When was the last time you sat down and thought about your life? Not just glanced at your calendar or skimmed over your to-do list, but truly reflected on where you are, where you've been, and where you're going. You see, one of the most overlooked yet powerful tools for personal growth is reflection. And it's not because people don't care, it's because they don't realize how transformative it can be. Reflection is the art of pausing to examine your life. It's about looking back to learn, looking around to understand, and looking ahead to plan. It's not something that happens by chance, it's something you must do deliberately. And let me tell you, the value of reflection is immeasurable. Here's why. Life moves fast. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. If you're not careful, it's easy to get caught up in the rush of it all working, striving, chasing goals, and never stopping to ask yourself, am I heading in the right direction? Because here's the truth, activity alone doesn't guarantee progress. You can climb a ladder with all your energy and enthusiasm, but if it's leaning against the wrong wall, you'll end up somewhere you never wanted to be. Reflection helps you make sure the ladder is where it's supposed to be. Now, some people resist reflection because they think it's about dwelling on mistakes or living in the past. But that's not what reflection is about at all. Reflection isn't about regret, it's about insight. It's about asking yourself what went well. What could I have done differently? What lessons can I carry forward? You see, the past isn't there to punish you, it's there to teach you. But only if you take the time to learn. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine a sailor navigating the open sea. Every so often, he stops to check his position, consult his map, and adjust his course. Why does he do this? Because even the smallest deviation, if left unchecked, can lead him miles off course over time. Reflection is your opportunity to stop, check your position, and make sure you're still on course. And here's the thing, reflection isn't just about looking back, it's also about looking within. It's about understanding yourself, your values, your strengths, your weaknesses, your motivations. Socrates famously said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." I'd go a step further and say the unexamined day is a wasted opportunity. Every day is a chance to learn something about yourself, to grow and to improve. But that growth doesn't happen automatically. It happens when you take the time to reflect. Now, I'm not saying you need to overhaul your life. But what I am saying is that reflection can bring clarity. It can help you identify what's working and what's not. It can reveal patterns, both positive and negative, and give you the insight you need to make better decisions moving forward. Let's talk about how to reflect effectively, because like any skill, it takes practice. First, set aside time for it. Reflection doesn't happen in the midst of chaos. It requires quiet and focus. It could be 10 minutes at the end of each day or a longer session at the end of the week or month. The important thing is to make it a regular habit. Second, ask yourself meaningful questions. Don't just skim the surface, dig deep. Here are a few questions to get you started. What did I accomplish today and how do I feel about it? What challenges did I face and how did I respond? What lessons did I learn? What am I grateful for? These questions aren't meant to judge you, they're meant to guide you. They help you uncover insights that can inform your future actions. Third, write it down. There's something powerful about putting your thoughts on paper. It forces you to organize your ideas and articulate them clearly. Plus, it creates a record that you can look back on over time. You'd be amazed at how much you can learn from reading your own reflections. And finally, use what you learn. Reflection is only valuable if it leads to action. If you identify a habit that's holding you back, work on changing it. If you recognize a strength, find ways to leverage it. If you uncover a goal that's been buried beneath the busyness of life, bring it to the forefront. Now, let me address something I hear often. I don't have time to reflect. My response is simple: you don't have time not to. Reflection doesn't take hours. Even a few minutes of focused thinking can yield tremendous insights. And the time you invest in reflection will save you time in the long run by helping you avoid mistakes, improve your efficiency, and stay aligned with your priorities. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one principle that underpins all success, it's this: growth. And how do we grow? Through learning. Learning is the foundation of progress, the engine of transformation, and the key to unlocking your full potential. Now, let me be clear about something. Growth doesn't happen by chance. It doesn't happen just because you want it to. And it doesn't happen just because time passes. Growth happens when you commit to learning actively, intentionally, and consistently. Let me start with a simple truth: you can't grow beyond what you know. Your knowledge, skills, and understanding set the limits of your achievements. If you want to climb higher, you have to expand those limits. You have to become more. And the only way to become more is to learn more. Now, some people make the mistake of thinking that learning ends when formal education ends. They graduate from school, hang their diploma on the wall, and think, I'm done learning, but let me tell you, that's just the beginning. Formal education may teach you the basics, but lifelong learning is what equips you to thrive in the real world. Why is learning so essential? Because the world is constantly changing. Technology evolves, industries shift, and opportunities emerge in places you least expect. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. But if you commit to continuous learning, you stay adaptable, relevant, and ready to seize new opportunities. Learning isn't just about acquiring knowledge, it's about transforming that knowledge into action. It's about taking what you learn and applying it to improve your life, your work, and your relationships. Knowledge without action is like a car without fuel. It may look impressive, but it won't get you anywhere. Now let's talk about the mindset that drives growth through learning. First and foremost, you have to embrace curiosity. Curiosity is the spark that ignites the learning process. It's the willingness to ask questions, to explore new ideas, and to challenge your assumptions. When you approach life with curiosity, every experience becomes an opportunity to learn. Second, you need humility. Learning requires you to acknowledge that you don't know everything, and that's okay. In fact, recognizing what you don't know is the first step toward growth. Humility opens the door to new perspectives, insights, and opportunities. It allows you to learn from others, whether they're mentors, peers, or even competitors. Let me give you an example. There was a young executive who was incredibly talented and ambitious. But she struggled to connect with her team. She thought she knew best and was hesitant to take advice. One day, her mentor said to her, "The greatest leaders are also the greatest learners." That simple statement changed her perspective. She began listening to her team, seeking feedback, and learning from their experiences. Over time, she became not only a better leader, but also a more effective and respected professional. Another critical aspect of learning is persistence. Let me tell you, growth isn't always easy. Sometimes learning means confronting your weaknesses, making mistakes, and stepping outside your comfort zone. But that's where the real growth happens. Think about a muscle. It only grows when it's challenged, when it's stretched beyond its current limits. Your mind works the same way. Now, how do we make learning a part of our daily lives? It starts with intention. You have to make a conscious decision to prioritize learning. That means setting aside time to read, to study, and to reflect. It means seeking out experiences that challenge you and push you to grow. And it means being proactive. Don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Go out and find them. One of the best ways to learn is through reading. Books are treasure troves of wisdom, offering insights from some of the greatest minds in history. But reading isn't just about consuming information, it's about engaging with it. Take notes, ask questions, and think about how you can apply what you've learned. Another powerful way to learn is through mentorship. Find people who have achieved what you aspire to achieve and learn from them. Ask questions, observe their actions, and apply their lessons to your own life. A mentor's guidance can accelerate your growth in ways you can't imagine. And don't forget about learning through experience. Some of the most valuable lessons come from doing. Every challenge, every success, and every failure is an opportunity to learn. The key is to approach each experience with an open mind and a willingness to grow. Let me tell you about the compounding effect of learning. Just like compound interest, the benefits of learning multiply over time. Each new piece of knowledge builds on the last, creating a foundation for greater and greater achievements. The more you learn, the more capable you become, and the more opportunities you can create for yourself. But here's the thing, learning isn't just about personal gain. It's also about contribution. The more you grow, the more you have to give. Whether it's sharing your knowledge with others, solving problems, or creating value, learning enables you to make a positive impact in the world. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, I don't have time to learn, but let me tell you, you can't afford not to. Learning doesn't have to be time-consuming. Even a few minutes a day can add up to incredible growth over time. Listen to an audiobook during your commute, read a chapter of a book before bed, or take an online course in your spare time. The key is consistency. The truth is, growth through learning is a choice to invest in yourself, to embrace challenges, and to pursue your potential. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Let me ask you a question. What is the measure of a life well lived? Is it the wealth you amass, the accolades you receive, or the power you hold? Or is it something deeper, something more enduring? I believe the true measure of a life well lived is the impact you have on others, the contributions you make to the people and the world around you. You see, focusing on contribution is not just a noble idea, it's a fundamental principle of success and fulfillment. It's about shifting your perspective from what can I get to what can I give, and when you make that shift, something remarkable happens. You not only enrich the lives of others, but also elevate your own. Let's start with why contribution matters. Human beings are wired for connection. We're not meant to live in isolation, chasing individual goals without regard for others. True joy, true meaning, comes from the relationships we build and the value we create for others. Contribution is what gives life its richness, its purpose, its legacy. I think about the people you admire most. Are they the ones who took the most for themselves, or the ones who gave the most to others? The greatest leaders, the most beloved figures, and the most respected individuals throughout history all share one thing in common: they focused on contribution. Whether it was a revolutionary idea, a life-saving invention, or a simple act of kindness, their contributions left an indelible mark on the world. Now, here's the beautiful part: contribution isn't limited to grand gestures or monumental achievements. It can be as simple as a kind word, a helpful hand, or a listening ear. It's not about the size of your contribution, it's about the intention behind it. Are you making someone's day brighter, their burden lighter, their path clearer? If the answer is yes, then you're contributing. But let me tell you, focusing on contribution isn't just good for others, it's transformative for you. When you shift your focus to how you can serve, you unlock a deeper sense of purpose. Suddenly, your work isn't just about a paycheck, it's about creating value. Your relationships aren't just about companionship, they're about mutual growth and support. Even your challenges take on new meaning because they're opportunities to grow and give back. There's a law of the universe that I believe in deeply: what you give, you receive. It's not always immediate, and it's not always in the way you expect, but the principle holds true. When you contribute to others, the energy you put out into the world comes back to you in the form of opportunities, relationships, and fulfillment. It's like planting seeds. You may not see the harvest right away, but in time, your efforts bear fruit. Now, let's talk about how to make contribution a daily practice. First, you have to cultivate awareness. Contribution begins with noticing the needs around you, whether it's a colleague who could use some encouragement, a community project that needs volunteers, or a problem that calls for a solution. The more you train yourself to see opportunities to contribute, the more naturally it will come to you. Second, align your contributions with your strengths and passions. You don't have to be everything to everyone. Instead, focus on where you can make the greatest impact. Are you a great listener? Offer support to someone who needs to be heard. Are you skilled at organizing? Help coordinate a project that makes a difference. When you contribute in ways that align with who you are, you not only maximize your impact, but also find joy in the process. Third, remember that contribution is a habit, not a one-time event. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect opportunity. It's about showing up every day with a mindset of service. Sometimes your contributions will be small, like a smile or a word of encouragement. Other times they'll be larger, like mentoring someone or taking on a leadership role. What matters is that you're consistent. Now, some of you might be thinking, I don't have much to give. Let me challenge that belief. Contribution isn't about how much you have. It's about what you do with what you have. You might not have a lot of money, but you have time, energy, and skills. And those are some of the most valuable resources you can offer. Even the smallest acts of contribution can have a ripple effect that goes far beyond what you can see. Let me share a story. There was a man who worked in a busy office. Every morning, he made it a point to greet his coworkers with a smile and a cheerful word. At first, it seemed like a small thing, almost insignificant. But over time, his positivity changed the atmosphere of the office. People started looking forward to seeing him, and his simple act of kindness inspired others to do the same. His contribution wasn't grand or costly, but it made a meaningful difference. And that's the thing about contribution, it multiplies. When you give to others, you inspire them to give in return. Your actions create a ripple effect, spreading positivity and impact far beyond your initial effort. But let me tell you something else. Contribution isn't just about what you do for others. It's also about the legacy you leave. At the end of the day, people won't remember you for what you took from the world. They'll remember you for what you gave. And when you focus on contribution, you create a legacy that lasts, a legacy of kindness, generosity, and impact. Finally, contribution isn't just something you do in addition to your goals. It's something that can fuel your goals. When you tie your ambitions to a larger purpose, when you work not just for your own success, but for the benefit of others, you tap into a deeper well of motivation. Suddenly, your goals aren't just about achieving, they're about giving. And that makes all the difference. As we bring this journey to a close, let us reflect on the essence of what we've explored together. Each ritual we've discussed: discipline, intention, reflection, learning, and contribution holds the power to reshape not just your days, but your entire life. These are not grand gestures reserved for the extraordinary. They are simple, intentional acts that anyone can adopt. Success, fulfillment, and impact don't arise from fleeting bursts of effort, but from the consistent, purposeful habits we cultivate over time. Each day is an opportunity, a gift to take a step closer to the person you aspire to be. By mastering these daily rituals, you are not only designing a life of growth and achievement, but also creating a legacy of contribution and purpose.